morning. Good afternoon. You want to know what I'm doing? Look at my head. How y'all doing this morning? Just waiting for the chocolate to fully melt before I add the fungus to it. If you have a lumpy chocolate, you will have lumpy bars. Nobody wants a lumpy bar, right? Tell me, how are you all doing this morning? How's it going? Invite Erin Parson. Oh yes, Erin, come join me, Erin. That's so funny. Tell me, how do you feel about the psilocybin? I personally think that it should be pumped in through the air ducts at the Capitol building, especially in the Oval Office. I'm sure you can imagine how much better things would be. I mean, like, let's at least use some essential oils. You know, they do that in Japan. In their work offices, they fill them in the airports and stuff. They pump essential oils in so people feel good and not bad. Okay, here we go. A very delicate process. Ready for the mushroom balloon? That is 250 grams of mushrooms. Grams. This is the thermometer. Anyone care to lick it? So now I'm going to do the very delicate process of turning the chocolate and the mushroom fungus powder. And I don't know, can you guys see the smoke that's rising, the mushroom smoke? That's why I'm wearing a mask. Because the thing about the fungus is that it's always alive. It's always trying to do its good medicine in our life. So if you grind it or open it or smell it or have anything to do with it, it's definitely gonna activate. Helping myself out with a little cooking spray, because the best way to mix anything is by hand. My chocolate maker is awesome for making chocolate, but not so much this way. What are you guys doing? Can you see the mushroom dust? Lean in and smell. Just gonna mash it until it is covered in chocolate. It's truly, my bowl is spinning, which is really super helpful to me. So each one of these bars is gonna have 7 grams of mushroom material in it. And if you don't know, 3% of the fungus material is activated psilocin. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about dosing, that just because you eat the whole mushroom doesn't mean that you're, isn't that lovely? So lovely. Okay, you ever seen the Lucy where like her and Ethel are doing chocolates? Every time I make these bars, it's how I feel. Oh, thank you for the hearts. You know, the hearts are really helpful. They make me feel like someone's listening to me and I'm not just screaming into the void. Thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna, here's a question. How many pairs of gloves do you think I go through making one batch of these bars? A lot. So if you don't know, when you're working with chocolate, you don't want any water around it because that blooms it and turns it white. Let me see. 10, 10? Yes, at least 10, Amanda. That's a good call. You win, yeah, at least 10. Okay, now we're gonna make them into bars. So let's move you around. Hello, folks. How goes it? So because we're a professional organization, everything is done by weight and measure. Can you hear me? I don't need to, now that the fungus has been integrated, I don't need to wear a mask because I won't be breathing it in. But isn't it delicious? Don't you just want to stick your whole face in it and just go like, yeah. Imagine the level of enlightenment you would receive if you just puffed on this whole thing. I'm telling you, it's my dream. And why? Why would it be my dream, you ask? Why, Robin? Why would it be so awesome if everyone at the Capitol stuck psilocin in their mouth? Well, imagine Carolyn Lovett eating a whole mushroom bar, all 7 grams, and then doing a news briefing. I wonder if she'd tell the truth. I wonder if it'd be different. Okay, these are our fabulous, look at that little, can you see that little mushrooms on them? Mushrooms are funguses, not strains. So I am using a combination of at least 10 different funguses, because the great thing about fungus as opposed to cannabis is that when you compound cannabis, you get a cannabinoid profile, which means it doesn't matter what you start with, it's all going to end up with a certain amount of THC, CBD, CBG, blah, blah, blah. But when you combine the fungus, they stay in their own lane. You know, they stay in their own lane, which is so awesome. So we have a B+ in here, which is a really laughy, kind of, you know, jovial fungus. And then we have something called an enigma, which is super, super visual. And then I always like to put a little bit of the golden teacher in it because that kind of like mellows out the journey. So if you've ever had any of this type of stuff, you'll really know the difference, because it's like first you're laughing, then you're crying, then you're contemplative, then you're silent. And that is the different funguses rolling through your cerebral cortex, kind of cool, and creating neuroplasticity so that you can have all of your feelings, because you are many feelings, not just one. Okay, so each bar is going to weigh 57 grams. This is my handy dandy scooper. I've never used it before, so I'm going to see. I'm thinking 1 scoop. Oh, it looks like 1 scoop is going to be way too much. So yeah, way too much. Okay, this is an absolute epic fail. And that's what's important, is to know where you fail before you start, right? So yeah, that's a no. Because getting the right weight makes all the difference in the world. Oh, here we go, Amanda. Gloves off. We are now on to our 3rd pair of gloves, because once you get chocolate on them, well, girl, then you're just rubbing chocolate all over the place, aren't you? Okay, any questions? And then crying in the same moment. I know, isn't that awesome, Amanda? It's such an awesome experience when you can experience the wholeness of who you are, and that you're not like limited by, you know, oh no, I'm just so sad, or that's just so funny. So this is pretty much the right amount, I think. Yeah, perfect. See? And then I have to reset the scale each time, because when people purchase these, it's really important that they have the exact amount of product in each bar. That is the difference between something that's professional and something that your friend made. Which, believe me, something that your friend made can be even like awesome. So awesome. But we also need them to fit in their little wrappers too. So anything over a certain weight, they're not going to fit. But out of this one mix, I'm going to get 35 bars. And if I scoop correctly, then each scoop is easy and done. And then watch, this is my super, this is a really cool trick. Because we want everything to be perfect. And perfection comes from math. So anyone who tells you that's formulating products that they don't do math, run! Math is where it's at. Math is a universal language that they teach us to be afraid of in elementary school. But if you speak math, you can speak to anyone. Try number 2. Today I'm making 100 of these. Can you believe it? And it should take me about 90 minutes. Hold on. I overshot my... Perfect. So I used to have a chocolate company, which is why I have all this cool ass chocolate making equipment. That's one of the things, if you guys are out there and you're listening to me and you're entrepreneurs and you're like, oh, that didn't work out. Now I'm heavily invested in this thing that failed. It didn't fail. I promise you, it didn't fail. It's just leading you to your next location, to your next journey, to your next incarnation. So never give up on yourself, ever. Just redirect. I see I have some mushy people in here. Anybody got anything to say? Anyone got anything to say, huh? Anyone got some... I'm feeling pretty silly because the psilocybin will make you silly. Which is good because I woke up pretty fucking sad this morning. So I thought, you know what? I gotta get these bars done. I might as well go help myself and hang out with the fungus for the morning. Oops. And lighten that mental load, because you guys know what neuroplasticity is? Are you curious? Do you care? Do you want to know why this works? What about it makes it so powerful? I'm happy to share. I also like these little bars to be as pretty as they possibly can. You know, here's the deal with pretty much anything that's handmade. You gotta get it right on the front because you can't go back and correct. You know, like if these bars aren't even, then there's a lot of shading that has to happen. It won't pop out clean. They'll be white, kind of the chocolate will bloom, and who wants that? Number 3. Let me know if you're enjoying what you're seeing. This is kind of different for what you normally find live on TikTok. Normally TikTok will just ban my ass, just like by now usually I've been, bye, you know. 3 people are peeking in, introduce yourself and turn them into followers. Oh, hi everyone, I'm Robin. Follow me for more interesting and erratic content. Because, you know, I noticed that everybody on their channels is like, well, I talk about this. But you know what? I'm a multifaceted individual. I can't just talk about one thing. There's not just one thing happening. You know, I own multiple companies. We have 47 different products. I've got 35 years in as a practitioner. So I got a lot going on over here. I worked all over the world. I worked with pro sports and rock bands. I've had just a blast of a career. And now I help people who are living with life-threatening illnesses and fighting back things like cancer and depression. And you know, that's how I got into the mushroom conversation, honestly. Well, I mean, I grew up attending NAC meetings. You know what that is? You know, if you don't, then you don't. So I've been eating the sacred cactus since I've been a little girl, and I fed it to all my kids. And then throughout my career, I knew that cannabis was incredibly helpful, and I started working with football players, like NFL level football players, and one thing they all have in common are concussions. And if you're going to be a pro ball player, it's kind of like being a doctor. No one ever really talks about this, but pro ball players are tracking their careers from the time they're like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. They got to play Pop Warner, they got to play high school, they got to play college. By the time they've gotten to pro ball, they have a few concussions, unfortunately. And every time your brain concusses, it's not good. Bad things happen to your poor little brain. It doesn't want to concuss. So I was, you know, using things like different types of cannabis strains and different cannabinoids, but I was noticing that I wasn't getting anywhere with these clients. They weren't succeeding. They were still having, you know, deafening migraines, emotional, like all over the map kind of stuff. And then I kind of went back to my roots, and I was like, well, wait a minute. The sacred mushroom, the fungus, has this ability to drain your brain. And I don't mean drain your brain like make you stupid. It creates neuroplasticity, and it removes the fluid. It doesn't remove it, but it kind of like warms it up so it moves it through your mind. So all of the things that are stuck in our head, because everything is a pattern, and our emotional body lives in our tissue. I'm sure you've heard that, you know, the body keeps score. It's true. So when you concuss, and you basically are killing parts of your brain. So I started giving my football players mushrooms, and I noticed this amazing thing with them. First thing, the constant migraines ceased to exist with them, which was good enough, right? We pound out my mushroom bars first, folks. Okay, so that was cool. They had less migraines. But then I started realizing that they were having other successes, like besides less migraines. Their memories were holding on. And then most importantly, the feelings of suicide were subsiding. Because when you break your brain like that, you get really sad. And your brain starts to compartmentalizes, and it's hard for it to fluidly like move. When will they be available on your site? These are already available on our site. If you hit me up, I'll give you the link. Ta-da! So out of my love, care, and concern for all my ball players and the amazing amount of difference I was seeing in them, I thought, this is more than a recreational product. This is something that can really, really help people. And then, because I work with people who are living with life-threatening illness like cancer, and they have diagnoses like, hey, you got 6 months to live, that makes you sad too. That's a lot to process. And it's a lot for your family to process. And you know what? It's not necessarily true, because doctors don't know when you're going to die. They just know by the tests that they've run, by the benchmarks that they understand, what your expiration date might be. But here's the deal. They don't know, because you are an individual, a unique creature, and a child of God. So your expiration date is between you and the Creator. Period. End of story. No one really knows. But we can tell when our tissue starts to disintegrate, because we are basically house plants. And once the root system is gone, the plant is dead. So I noticed in my clients that were suffering from things like brain tumors, not just concussions, but actual brain tumors, they were having massive improvements. Not with the tumor shrinking or anything like that. That's what its counterpart, cannabis, is for. But with the ability to process what was happening to them what their body was taking them through, and also giving them the opportunity to really begin to dialogue with themselves, because at the end of the day, everybody is dying. No one is going to get out alive. But it's very easy to get just caught up, in, like the fear of what's happening. And when we do that, we start to lose the process of what is happening, which is called our life. And I always encourage my clients to remember that simple thing, that no one's getting out alive. So we're not here to stop you from dying, because that's not going to happen. What we're here to do is to give you more life for your life, so you can enjoy your life. So whatever time you have left, no matter what that looks like, no matter what issue you're going through, your life happens. Making mushroom chocolate suggests flavors. These are just dark chocolate. They're made with cacao and a tiny little bit of milk chocolate. I don't add anything to it, just the chocolate and the funguses. And like I mentioned, I like to use a multitude of different funguses. This is like somewhere between 5 and 7 different funguses that have been ground up. Let me show you. See how pretty? So pretty. Oh look, little flavor packet. Ew. So I don't flavor anything at all when it comes to chocolate, because part of the medicine in this bar is the fact that it's made with cacao. And cacao has special properties as well. It's also a very, it's the most healing form of chocolate because it hasn't been destroyed by Hershey's yet. So here we go, another one done. Now let's pound them out. A long time ago in my life, when a long time ago in my life, when I owned a restaurant and I was in Montana, I had the pleasure of being on the morning news regularly making products. Can you imagine if I was on the morning news making mushroom bars? Good morning. How you doing? Getting ready? Scared of your life? Scared of yourself? Don't be. A little psilocybin will go a long way with that. I hope I'm entertaining you. Look, we're almost done. I only got 2 more trays. Amazing. Amazing. And then I have it on this chocolate spinner because I just want my chocolate to stay a certain temperature so it doesn't burn. And also, I need to be mindful of the temperature that the psilocybin is cooking at, because everything dies at a certain temperature. And mushrooms start losing their power around 110 degrees. So we don't want that happening. Start getting cooked. These are really tasty. I've been making these bars, these specific bars, since 2014. That is way before this whole movement happened, right? And again, for those of you guys who are just arriving, what brought me here was the NFL, honestly. Working with football players who had multiple concussions, who were just suicidal and in so much pain from concussions, that I was like, let me just go back to our roots. Let's just figure out, because our planet, everything we need is here in plant form. Everything. Even aspirin, if you don't know, is from white willow bark. That's where it's originated from. So nature heals us. And pharmaceuticals drain us. But not to say that that they don't have a purpose in our life, because some pharmaceuticals will keep you alive, like antibiotics, for real. But maybe in place of some SSRIs, you might want to try a couple plants, because because SSRIs are neuroblockers, which means that they're blocking your brain They are blocking the brain from having the experience. Whereas opposed something like psilocin, a mushroom, or even some cannabinoids are going to help you process those emotions, because you don't need to be dead. You need to feel. And no matter what trauma you've been through, no matter what it's been, no matter what has happened to you, I promise you, you are resilient. You're resilient, and you can make it through. You're resilient! Seriously though, no hostility at all. You are resilient. Whoever you are, whatever your paradigm is, you're fucking magical. So I hope that you can begin to see that. And what makes you magical is your individuality and your uniqueness. That's what does it. That's it. It's not whether you have more degrees or you got a shitload of money or you have fashion sense. I mean, fashion sense of course helps. Last tray, kids. I mean, I have 3 more trays to go, but. Any questions, kids? I cannot express to you how the most awesome thing in the world is spray oil. I love it when it's perfect. This, my friends, is called muscle memory. You know, when you've done something so many times, it's muscle memory. It's the reason why I can make 100 mushroom bars in 90 minutes, and somebody on my staff will take 5 hours to do it. And that's no shade on them. Okay, nothing ever works out exactly right, correct? So this is the funnest part. The slapping down of the product. Slap that chocolate into submission. See how pretty they look? Yum, yum. Okay, so this is our overflow. Let me put it on this. These are little 1 gram honeycombs, and all I'm going to do is just turn the spinner off and then come in here and get whatever is left from this batch, which is not very much. Yum. Slap it down over here. And then we're gonna make little samples for people. Little honeycomb samples. All right, there we go. And another set of gloves off my hands. And then see, I will end up filling this entire tray up by the time I'm done doing this. All right, how y'all doing? Would you like to stay with me? Making mushroom, ask how, AI. You know, it's so funny when you come back and you read the comments, right? It's like AI is telling me what to do. And introduce yourself and invite people to follow you. Does that work? Does it really work when you're like, follow me? Because that really feels like, pick me. Pick me! Pick me! I've never been that person. I've always been the person who's hiding in the corner. Don't notice me! That's me, personally. Okay, now, what happens next? We'll go through one more round together. Because I'm using cacao and it doesn't have any fat in it, we have to add the cocoa to it. And this is very important because this is what gives it that richness. And again, whenever you're doing anything, especially professionally, like when you're doing something professionally, please, math, motherfuckers, math. Math is the only way to be consistent in anything you're making. Whether you are making body products or food products, if you are not mathing the math, you're gonna fail in the end. Period. Oh, let's get another pair of gloves on in case somebody tells me, what are you doing? Why are you not wearing gloves? Can you guys hear my music in the background? These are party bars, so I always like to make sure that I'm playing party music. And my favorite music to party with is Bollywood. If you are not a Bollywood fan yet, if you have not like reached out into the Bollywood music scene, you're missing out, man. Seriously missing out. And you know what's awesome about it is that I have no idea what they're saying because they're speaking Hindi. So I don't know what they're singing about, but their beats are on. Their beats are just on. Okay, back to here. Hello, Elder Reeves. Now, if this is not cut up into tiny little pieces, then because it's a butter, it just doesn't want to melt very well. This is made from coconut. Or I think it's from, what is it from? It's cacao butter. So it's actually the fat from the chocolate. You know, when they make white chocolate, this is basically what it is, folks. It's just the fat. But 100%, this is what makes our bars so delicious and allows me to use things like cacao, which is another healing element, another something powerful. We used to do a bar that had, that was the Azteca recipe, and they've been using these things for thousands of years. And traditionally, they would make a hot cacao chocolate, a hot chocolate with cacao, cannabis, coca leaves, and mushrooms. That might be nice, right? Like, you want to see something. You want to see something if you see that. So, this needs to melt And because it doesn't really want to melt, here's how I fast track shit. I'm gonna turn on the speeding thing, and then my handy dandy little heat gun is gonna make sure that this melts. Because adding chocolate to it when this is not melted, it just takes longer. So this is all just speed it up. We don't have all day to make these mushroom bars. We have so many other things to make today. Tell me something about you guys. All one person watching me. Whoever you are, the one person who's watching me, I appreciate you. Thank you. And for all the hearts that have been sent, thanks guys. You know, I mean, I watch lives, and those little hearts, they're kind of important because they let you know that you're just not screaming into the void. That's kind of how I feel when I'm live. Screaming into the void. What in the world? Can you imagine just floating on the page right now? Wondering, what is that woman doing? Why does she have a heat gun on a chocolate melter? Well, super simple. I just don't want my chocolate to burn, but I want my cocoa butter to melt. So I'm just helping it out a little bit by heating it from both levels. The cocoa butter is the binder for the cacao. It's what's gonna, because there's no fat in cacao, it's just the cocoa basically. I need to put something in it to make it form into a bar. Whenever you do anything with food or medicine, you know, making products for all you entrepreneurs out there, if you're making soap or whatever you're making, then you must know that getting it right at the front is super important, because you can't go back and correct what you did incorrectly on the front. You know, just kind of true of life, actually. You know, sometimes you can go back and correct in life, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just fuck up. Okay, now we get the chocolate. It's kind of cold in here. Changing my gloves again. See, again, math, everything is pre-weighed, so we can start from the beginning and we know what we're up to, no guesswork. See, I got it right because the bars are already starting to set up. Yay. Cover these guys up. Look at these little delicious treats that we made. These are, they weigh a lot. They are 50 milligrams of the cannabinoids, and they are super delicious. Very delicious. They're so heavy. Who knew? Who knew? So as we wait for my chocolate to melt, how's it going, kids? Anything you'd like to say? Any questions you have? What are you doing today? What's going on with you? What do you think about psilocin? Have you used it? Do you like it? Do you have any questions regarding it? It's really fun to make these mushroom bars because, like, honestly, the mushroom, these guys, the fungus is always alive. It never ever goes dormant. I don't care when it's ground, even when it's like, here, let me show you. Let me show you what they start with while our chocolate is doing its thing. Oh, look how pretty. Look how lovely. I'm so beautiful. Yeah, look how gorgeous. I love them. You know, there's so many things I love about these guys. Like, they're hollow, like our bones. You know, like when we are in our most spiritual place, we need to be like a hollow bone, receiving information, not making decisions. And these guys, they help us become more receptive, because through our receptivity, we get messages. You know, when you're just constantly trying to figure it out, you're not going to figure it out, kids. You're not. No one is. You've got to allow. Is that Lindsay Rogers? Is that my friend? Are you watching me, Lindsay? I love you. Lindsay Rogers makes this amazing project called Grandmother's. Let me show it to you. I happen to have some right here. Lindsay Rogers makes this amazing product called Grandmother's Colloidal Silver. It is an amazing colloidal silver. An amazing colloidal silver. And I formulate a nasal spray that people use for brain cancer and other types of cancers, pituitary cancers and things like that. And this is my base of it. And I gotta tell you, it's amazing. So find her, Lindsay Rogers. She's right here in my feed, right there. And this product, Grandmother's, what's it called, Lindsay? Granddaughter's water. I should know that. I've been using it for years. And that's an actual picture of her actual grandma. You know, and a lot of my recipes come from my grandmas too. And you know how awesome that is to be able to be a lineage herbalist? Like, I'm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations deep in what I do. And so is Lindsay. And this is where you really find the magic, man, is in the people who've been doing it for always and since always. So look, Linz, I just happen to have it right here in my lab. It's my next project today. And she does different kinds of colloidal silver too. It's not all the same. Do you guys know why colloidal silver is so awesome? You ready to learn mushrooms? Yeah, girl, come on out, man. You need to be here with me. Oh. Chocolate. Can you guys see it? Okay, now let's see how melted it is. Now, don't be getting mad at me because I'm using a microwave, because you know what? It's faster. And you know what it also does with chocolate? It tempers it. And you know what sucks when you're making chocolate and it's not tempered? It looks like garbage. It doesn't get shiny, it doesn't sit up, it's bad. So, you know, when you're making 100 and something of something, using modern technology helps. Look at that, isn't that yummy? Yummy! I know, Lindsay, I don't know if you're still watching me, but it would be so awesome to be in the same space with you again and make medicine. Lindsay has been with me for a long time in this industry. Yesterday I was on TikTok and I saw this chick who had like 500 followers. And she was like saying such garbage. Oh my God, it was making me nuts. You know, just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you know shit, okay? It doesn't. I know shit because I'm old as dirt, okay? And I've been at this my entire life. Like, I didn't just roll up to cannabis in my backyard and be like, hey, I'm gonna start making some medicine. No, I have multiple degrees. In fact, I have a doctorate degree. Who cares? It doesn't matter. What matters is the time that I have in the lab and constructing the products, which is like well over 50,000 hours. I have over 30,000 clients that I've worked with. That alone gives me this girth of knowledge that other people don't have because of the amount of people that I've worked with. because everyone's different. So every time I work with somebody, I learn. They teach me. Whatever's going on with them, it presents differently with each person. So be careful, because just because you have purple hair and 500 followers doesn't mean that you know shit, okay? That grandma's always gonna know more, which is why I love Lindsay and her products, because they're, you know, in her lineage. Grandma's always gonna know more, which is why I love Lindsay and her products, because they're, you know, in her lineage. Wait, me? Did I lose you? Okay. Yes. Oh, good. Look, it's nice and yummy. So let's turn this around. We're going to add it to the melted coconut oil. I think I fucked up mine. Oh, that's the light. Okay. So now we're just going to let this, I'm going to put my thermometer back in. Light is really making a difference. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And, you know, if you would like some erratic content, that is everything from social justice to medicine, please like and follow me. Because I'll tell you one thing, you could go back and look at all my videos that I've posted, and if you're looking for a thread, I promise you, you won't find one, because I'd rather crochet, where each knot is the same but different. So, it's just, once I get, here, let's do one more, we're going to spin. I'm going to add the mushrooms with you. So what I really want is my chocolate to be as integrated as possible. Oh, my thermometer is hot. Who knew? Okay, and then, because like I said a couple hundred times, these fuckers are alive. Changing my gloves again. And I'm going to mask up, because the mushroom, you know, it's alive. Okay, here we go, kids. Ready? Now I want you to watch the bloom. Sprayed my hands. Didn't complete the Heart Me mission. What does that mean? Explain that to me, please. So the best way is definitely the hand way. Yum. It's kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. I did not pause it, but we froze now. Sorry. My phone is starting to blow up, so I'm gonna have to get off the live. But we went through one round, so. If you are interested in this product and you want to know more about it, you guys are always welcome to reach out to me. Perfect. Nice. Yum. Okay, there we go. All right. Ooh, yum! I am telling you, they're chocolate, working with chocolate, I don't give a fuck. It's always like this. Wash myself up with you guys. All right, you guys have all been awesome. All 6 of you, I appreciate it. Thank you. Lindsay, make sure you check out Lindsay Rogers. You see her in my feed. She's got a lot of really awesome things. One of them is the colloidal silver that she makes. Granddaughter's water. Amazing. Amazing product. I formulate a lot of my things with it. We've seen a lot of people. Yes, heart. Heart. Make sure, like, see, I feel so much better. I woke up this morning just wanting to, like, just be like, ugh, I can't. And then just here working with the magical medicine that is provided for us from our earth. Everything's better for me now. A little cafe, a little psilocin, a little cacao, some friends. Life goes on. You feel better. So wherever you're at today, whatever's going on in your life, just remember it's not who you are. It's just where you're at. It's just what's happening. I promise you, it's going to change. It's not going to be the same. It won't be like that tomorrow. It might be worse. So take care of yourself today. Make sure you do something nice for yourself. You know, we always forget, like, what does that mean to be nice to myself? Right? Does that mean that I go get a massage, I get my nails done, I eat a bunch of ice cream? Those things, those are nice. You can do that. That's nice to you as well. What's better and has more weight and impact is when you speak kindly to yourself. Nice to meet you, AJ Hawks. Totally. Speak kindly to yourself. It is so easy to be mean to yourself. It's so easy to talk shit to yourself, to talk about how bad you are and how you didn't do this and how you're a loser because of that. None of that's true. Okay, your brain, it doesn't know that this is science, man, okay? I have a doctorate degree in metaphysics, and I'm going to tell you in the quantum theory and string theory, if you don't know what those are, I highly recommend that you Google them, okay? The way that you vibe, the way that you treat yourself dictates the life that you have. All right, so when you walk by a mirror and you want to say, oh my God, I'm so fat. I've got so many double chins. My hair is so ugly. The universe, I promise you, is going to reflect all of that to you. Someone's going to tell you why you got your fat ass here. Someone's going to be like, didn't you brush your hair? Someone's going to ask, who smacked you in the face that you're so ugly? Right? But you walk by that mirror and you say, damn, I'm beautiful. God made me this way. God gave me this mouth, these eyes, and this body to carry my spirit forward and to do the good work that I'm supposed to do here on this planet. I promise you the universe will reflect that too. Okay? And then all of a sudden people will come into your life and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I never saw you before. I didn't realize how beautiful you were. Do you know how nice your hair is? You look so good in that dress. And then all of a sudden, people are going to give you jobs and work and money. You know, when you realize that you are the gift that you give others, amazing, amazing things happen for you. So please understand that. You can take anything away from this live, take that away. You're fucking amazing. You know, and you know why you're amazing? Because you were made by the Most High. And no matter what anyone says to you, no matter what freaking Christian national BS paradigm you were raised around, God does not fuck up. The Creator does not make mistakes. It is your individuality, your unique gifts that you bring to the table that make you powerful. You know? Like my girl Lindsay in this feed. I can't make colloidal silver. Nor would I want to. But what a blessing for me that she knows how to do it. And all I gotta do is call her on the phone and be like, can I have 6 gallons of that? You know, so whatever your unique gift is, however the Creator blessed you, even if people told you your whole life, that's stupid. Guess what? They're wrong. They're jealous. You're amazing. You're dynamic. You are the one. And you're the only one. So go forth and understand that. Trust the process. And don't let all the losers, look at, see, everything is different. Remember, if you guys have been with me for a while, the first one was really kind of watery. Why would it be different? Well, it's different even though I just did every single fucking thing exactly the same, because nothing ever duplicates itself. Nothing duplicates itself. You know, you can go out and test my theory. Just go look at the grass, man, and notice all the different kinds of grass, all the different shades, all the different levels, all the different colors. But it's all grass. It's just different. Just like us. We're all different, but we're the same. And we all share, our commonality is in this. We all have red blood, black pupils, white bones, and yellow marrow. So that alone tells us that we are one. We are the family of man, because it's in our body. As well, if you broke us down, we would just be dust. You're stardust, dude. You're literally fucking stardust. Oh, my live is going to end. We have detected activity during your live. They are not happy with me. Okay, oh wait, maybe this works. Oh, I'm back. Usually people have, like, you know, been like told on me or something. Hello, sweetie Jai. How's it going? Do you have a tie? A chai? Have a chai. How are you doing, Mr. Jai? I love chai. It's my favorite. But I love all things South Asian. I grew up on, well, I grew up all over the world, but part of my lineage is I'm Native American, and I grew up on my reservation. And the big joke, they teased me a lot because I looked like this and my eyes were green. And I always loved Bollywood, always loved Krishna, always loved all of that. My mom is Persian, so that was a big part of my influence as well. But they used to always tell me that I was not a dot, I was a feather. But you know what? I'm an honorary dot. All right, well, I appreciate all of you. I think after this last one, I am going to say see you later and answer back some of the calls that I've been blocking. This is the longest that TikTok has let me go live. I am really trying to grow my platform. I really actually do have some things of value to share. I do give a fuck about you people, honestly. You know, I mean, so many people are suffering. I see it every single day. I work with people who are living with life-threatening illness. You know, I have calls where mothers are talking about 9-month-old babies with brain tumors. So if you think that your life is, you know, rough, I just want you to take 1 minute and just have a little perspective, because whatever you're going through, it's valid for sure. But whatever you're going through, somebody is going through something worse and somebody is going through something better. So none of it is personal. It's not personal. It's what you need to learn, how you need to learn. Whatever lessons are coming into your life, if your car's getting repoed, if your lights are getting shut down, if you don't got no money and you're freaking using and you wonder why, check your behavior out. If everyone's mean to you and you think nobody likes you, check out how you act towards them. All right? Because this is all a reflection. It's a reflection. So put out in the universe what you want to receive. Be kind. Be kind when you can. And if you can't be kind, shut the fuck up. Move the fuck on. You know? Because you don't know what someone's going through. You just don't. And not everyone's going through the same thing. And that is not license to treat people badly. You don't get to be like, oh, I'm having a bad day, therefore I can just run all over your ass. That's not what I'm saying. Acknowledge where you're at. Some days when I'm having really bad days and I get on the phone and I'm just like some poor ass person. I have a question, please. What are you making? Sweetie J, I am making mushroom chocolate bars. That's what I'm making. And we're almost done, actually. So thank you for arriving. And wherever you're at in the world, that's all. I just want you guys to realize that you truly are magical beings. You have so much to give. You have so much skill. You have so much inside of you. Whoever told you you didn't, they're lying. They're lying. You are. Just remember your divinity. And when you start losing that thread of remembrance, go outside. Go outside. Sit your ass on the ground. Hug a freaking tree. Listen to water. Wash yourself. You're in Vegas? I know somebody in Vegas right now. Are you with them? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyways, okay, one more bar, and then I'm gonna say, see y'all later. I hope that you guys have a really great day. Again, you know, I appreciate how many of you have hung out and listened to me this whole time. I am from all over the world, but I am now in Southern California. I'm in a place just outside of San Diego. And then we have to flatten them. There's a lot of work to handmade stuff, you know? Like, these aren't just getting poured from a chocolate conveyor belt, which would be cool. But I hope, even though I have a very tiny company, it's very artisan, and I've kept it that way on purpose, you know, and sometimes I feel a little sad that, you know, I'm not making hundreds of millions of dollars like I could be if I followed the fucking mainstream. But that's just not the way the Creator called me. You know, the Creator called me to be here for the many, not for the one. Beautiful! All right, kids. Happy Jilly Bean. That's a great name. Okay. I'll see y'all later. I appreciate so many of the hearts, the glitter badges, everything you sent me, connecting with me, giving me minutes of your time. Honestly, y'all, it really means a lot to me. You know, the like and follow business. I don't really need you to pick me. But if I offer value to you and you'd like to see my face again, that's the only way it's going to happen, motherfucker. So I hope I see you in my feed, and I appreciate you. Remember, you are the greatest gift you give another person. That is not BS. That is true. However you think about it, you bring it about that way. So make sure that your thoughts follow your actions, okay? Don't be talking about how you're a piece of garbage and then wondering why you're not getting the job you want or why you ain't got no friends. Remember, you're the gift. See ya.